And so the Fifth Amendment is very much like a chess game. The prosecutor trying to get the accused convicted and sent to some sort of punishment, imprisonment, fine, exile, whatever the case may be. But the framers had a different thing in mind with the Fifth Amendment. I'll read this. No person, meaning citizens, shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. So there's a few protections in there. The first protection is the indictment, use of a grand jury. Now, grand juries have very low thresholds of evidence needing to be presented. There's a pretty common legal joke that a grand jury will indict a ham sandwich. It's not a trial, it's just the indictment. That there's just enough evidence, circumstantial or actual, to bring the accused to trial. The second protection is be put in jeopardy of life or limb twice. This is our double jeopardy protection. Imagine that someone didn't do it, but made such a stink about how they were treated by the state that maybe officers of the state want to get some payback. And so they decide, we're going to try them until we get them. The Constitution prohibits that. You can't be tried for the same thing twice. Now, here's what might happen. Say you have a serial killer who has, alleged 30 killings. It's very possible that the state will not indict on all 30 of those. Maybe they indict on 7 or 8, knowing that conviction on those will get life without possibility of parole or possibly the death penalty. And they protect themselves that if anything untoward were to happen, say prosecutorial misconduct, some forensic thing happens that sinks the case, anything were to happen, they still have the evidence from the other 23 cases, and they can try them again, different cases, not being put in jeopardy of life or limb twice. Third protection, self-incrimination. Nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. There are some countries, and we take this pretty much for granted, there's some countries that their legal system requires that if you're asked directly, did you do it, you have to answer truthfully. Yes, I did. Everybody in this country that's grown up here has seen one or more police dramas where the police catch the person and they arrest them and they do some Mirandizing, meaning they read them their Miranda warnings. The first Miranda warning, you have the right to remain silent. That is a Fifth Amendment protection. You cannot be compelled under interrogation or direct or cross-examination to say that you did it. Now it gets a little dicey if you're going to be in court and you don't testify. The British have taken this, in the English system, they've taken this a step further and say that your silence cannot be construed as guilt. We haven't gone that far. But we're pretty clear that we can invoke our Fifth Amendment protection. If we did do it, for example, we could simply say, upon advice of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment protection on the grounds that it might incriminate me. It might. It doesn't mean that it will, but you don't have to answer. Another protection, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. The English first sort of noted this in a major document in the Magna Carta, providing for due process. Due process protections are one of our fundamental rights in this country. Cut.